examination in medical surgical nursing. It totally conducts 8 aspects, which are motor behavior, speech, orientation, intelligence, memory, judgment and insight, and also mood and affect.
Next one is autonomic nervous system examination. In autonomic nervous system, the autonomic nervous system examination includes the vital functions like blood pressure and breathing. So the first thing we can do is taking the blood pressure of the patient in different positions, and the next thing we can do is asking the patient about his bladder and bowel control.
Orientation, we can ask the patient or a person about the place, time, person. What is your name? My name is XYZ. We even can ask about the place and the time by knowing the situation on board.
So here I am examining patient moods and affect. So affect is a patient immediate expression of emotion, and mood is the emotional state of feeling or mind. So mood and affect can be described as a dysphoric, which means expression, anxiety, guilt. Euphoric means normal, and euphoric means a pathologically elevated sense of well-being. So here I am examining patient. How are you feeling now? How you are you? How are you feeling now? Are you in trouble? What will you do if you see snake? So here patient is showing inappropriate expressions. Now I am going to tell you about the importance of MSc. So why MSc is done? It is done for obtaining the evidence of the sign and symptoms of the mental disorder. It is also important for obtaining the abnormalities of the mental functions and to avoid the destruction of the self and the others. So now I am going to tell you about the first aspect of the neurological assessment. So that is the level of consciousness. It is used to determine the patient is aware about him or her and the surrounding area. So there are three types of the consciousness. First the conscious, and second unconscious, and third is the pre-conscious. Neurological examination. Here we are testing patient speech. So in that we are testing appropriate voice, tone, articulation, speech, mutism and pause. Then first one is appropriate. Using appropriate language means that is speaking language is suitable or fitting for themselves. Then second is tone. Check the tone for high pitch and low pitch. Then third one is articulation speech. Articulation refers to making sound. Then for example, a child may use the D sound, then they should be used for D sound. Then pause.
Seems real, but they are not. Hallucination may cause due to chemical reactions or abnormalities in the brain. So there are some questions which is asked to the patient to confirm the diagnosis. So first question is, do you have unusual experiences such as voices that other people cannot hear? Are they female or male voices? Do you have name for them? Or do you feel that someone bothering you or trying to harm you? So like these questions we can take the result from the patient.
Here we are examine for the patient's motor behavior and balance. So in first motor behavior, we assess the patient pull and push movements against the healthcare provider. So for this we ask the patient to movement their arms and legs. So for that, pull the arms upward for the, and next push the legs upward and downward. So here we ask the patient, we check the patient for the joint movement. For that we ask the patient to do some passive and active movements. Examination is memory. Memory is information the word around, processing it, storing it and later recalling that information, and sometimes many years later. And two types of memory, short term memory and long term memory. First I will be explain the short term memory. Short term memory is recalling the
thing in few minutes. For example,
Topic name is insight and judgment. Insight and judgment refers to the complex tasks that require good deal of cognitive function. There are some questions. What has brought in your today? Do you think in problem? What do you think in causing a problem? How would you describe in yourself in if any situation? What is the insight of mental health nursing? They can be not only in a term of people to understand on their illness, but also term of understand how to illness affected individual interaction of the word. Judgment is also known as ability of identification of consequence of action. There are three examples: confection, consent, and default.
Good morning all, we are going to perform neurological examination which consists of muscle strength examination and sensory examination. Sensory examination consists of assessment which includes tactile sensation, superficial pain, vibration, position sense, stereogenosia and graphesthesia.
Starting with the deltoids, ask the patient to raise above their arms in front of them simultaneously, as strongly as they can. While the examiner provides resistance to this movement, compare the strength of each arm. The deltoid muscles is inverted by C5 nerve root via the axillary nerve. Now test the adduction of legs by placing your hands on the inner thigh of the patient and asking them to bring both legs together. This tests the adductors of the middle thigh. Adduction of hip is mediated by L2, L3 and L4 nerve roots. Now test the abduction of legs by placing your hands on the outer thigh. Ask the patient to move their legs apart. This tests the gluteus maximus and gluteus minimus. Adduction of the hip is mediated by L4, L5, S1 nerve root.
holding the bottom of the foot, ask the patient to press down on the gas pedal as hard as possible. Repeat with the other foot and compare. This test with gastrocnemius and the soleus muscle in the posterior compartment of the lower leg, ankle of the lower extremity. Ask the patient to move the large toe against the examiner's resistance up towards the patient's face. The external.
We will perform sensory system examination. In that, we are going to perform tactile sensation and superficial pain. First, pain. Stimulate skin lightly with sharp and dull ends of toothpick, paper clip. Apply stimuli randomly and ask patient to identify whether sensation is sharp or dull. We will do tactile sensation. In that, first temperature. Touch the patient's skin with test tubes filled with hot or cold water. Apply stimuli randomly and ask patient to identify whether sensation is hot or cold. Now we will perform vibration and proprioception. In that, first vibration. Place a vibrating tuning fork over a finger joint and then over a toe joint. Ask patient to tell you when vibration is felt and when it stops. If patient is unable to detect vibration, test proximal areas as well. We will perform stereogenesia. Test stereogenesia by asking the patient to close their eyes and identify the object you place in their hand. Place a coin or pen in their hand. Repeat this with the other hand using a different object. Now we will perform graphesthesia. In this, test graphesthesia by asking the patient to close their eyes and identify the number or letter you will write with the back of pen or on their palms. Repeat on the other hands with a different letter and number.
Assessment, I will assess the cranial nerve 1, which is olfactory nerve. In that, I will ask the patient to close the eyes and occlude one nostril and hold the substance beneath her nose, and I will ask the patient to identify the smell, cough. Same with another nostril. I will ask the patient to occlude another nostril and I will hold the substance beneath her nose, nostril, and identify substance, cough. She has identified correctly, and that's why olfactory nerve is intact.
Today I am going to assess cranial nerve 2, that is optic nerve. For this, we are going to check the alignment of the eye and the pupil size. The next step is to check the near and long vision. For checking the near vision, we will hold the magazine or newspaper at 1 meter distance to the patient and tell the patient to cover one eye and read the following sentence. To check the long vision, we will hold the Snellen's chart at 6 meter distance to the patient and will tell them to read by closing one eye. If the patient is able to read with both the eyes and both near vision and long vision are normal, then the optic nerve is intact.
Here we are going to assess the cranial nerve third, which is oculomotor nerve. In that, ask the patient to keep head straight and by using torch assess the pupil size and light reflex. The oculomotor nerve is in. We are going to assess the fifth cranial nerve, that is a trigeminal nerve. There are three function tests. First is the sensory function test, second is the motor function test, and third is the corneal reflex test. First is the sensory function test. First, tell the patient to close eyes, and I will ask the patient to identify.
Sharp. Dull.
Then
Dull. Sharp.
Second test is the motor test. Tell the patient to clench the teeth and feel the mastoid bone and temporal bone. Tell the patient to open mouth with resistance. My third test is a corneal reflex test. Gently touch with the cornea and touch with the eyelashes to check the blinking reflex. Now here trigeminal nerve is intact.
Going to assess the cranial nerve fourth and sixth, that is the trochlea and abducer. For this nerve assessing, holding the pen in front of the patient and tell the patient to move the eyeball in a direction of the pen and move the pen in direction of the horizontal and the lateral in except if the patient is able to move the eyeball, then abducer nerve and trochlear nerve is intact.
Versus the cranial nerve 7, that is facial nerve. In that I am going to assess two functions. First is motor function. In that I am ask the patient to smile, puff out your cheeks, close your eyes. And second is sensory function. In that I am going to tell the patient to close your eyes and tell the patient to identify the text. Facial nerve is intact.
Today, I am going to assess cranial nerve 8, that is acoustic nerve. For this, I am going to perform two tests, Renes and Weber test. First, I am going to perform Renes test. For this, I will place the tuning fork at one side of the ear and will tell the patient if he or she feels the vibration. If the patient feels the vibration, then hearing is intact. Next, I am going to perform Weber's test. For performing Weber's test, I am going to place the tuning fork on the center of the forehead and will ask the patient whether he or she feels the equal vibration at both the ears. If the patient feels so, then equilibrium is present and acoustic nerve is intact.
I am going to assess the patient gag reflex is present or not. So I will ask patient to open the mouth. So patient gag reflex is present. Now I am going to assess test motor function, in which I am going to ask the patient to open the mouth and I will examine the vulva and upper palate. So the patient's cranial nerve 9 and 10th is intact.
Start.
Today I am going to assess cranial nerve 11, that is spinal accessory nerve. For assessing this nerve, we are going to check the two elements, that is trapezius muscle and sternocleidomastoid muscle. For strengthening the trapezius muscle to tell the patient to shrug the shoulders and will apply the pressure against it. If the patient manages to hold the shoulder, then trapezius muscle is normal. Next, to check the sternocleidomastoid muscle, we will rotate the head in both the directions. If the patient provides resistance, then sternocleidomastoid muscle is normal. Thus, my spinal accessory nerve is intact.
To assess the 12th cranial nerve, that is hypoglossal nerve, in that ask the patient to stick the straight out the tongue and the 12th cranial nerve is intact.
Tricep reflex. Grabs the patient's wrist with your left hand and pull his arm across his chest so the elbow is reflexed 90 degrees and the forearm is partially bent down. Tap the tricep brachial tendon directly above the process. The normal response is elbow extension. Bicep reflex. The examiner's thumb or index finger is placed over the patient's biceps tendon in the elbow seize and struck sharply with the tendon hammer. The normal response is a reflex contraction of the biceps and flexion of the elbow. Foot is dorsiflexed at the angle and the hammer strikes the stretched Achilles tendon. Normal plantar flexion of foot. Knee jerk reflex. Sudden kicking movements of a lower leg in response to a sharp tap on the patellar tendon, which lies just below the kneecap. Coordination. Test of coordination. Point-to-point movements evaluation. Ask the patient to extend their index finger and touch their nose, and then touch the examiner's outstretched finger with the same finger. Ask the patient to go back and forth between touching their nose and examiner's finger. Test for balance. The rhombus test is a screening test for balance. The patient stands with feet together and arm at the side first with eyes open, and then with both eyes closed for 20 to 30 seconds. The examiner stands close to support the patient if he or she begins to fall. Slight swagging is normal, but loss of balance is abnormal and is considered a positive rhombus test. Test of gait. Ask the patient to walk on heel across the room. Next, ask the patient to walk on toe across the room. By making the patient walk on heel and toes across the room, gross gait abnormalities should be noted.